Lex is in the house. Lex, say hi to everybody.
Hey everybody.
So Lex, you're going to show us the new equipment. What are you doing with Shred Tech? Show us what's going on. We're going to follow you around and just let's let this unfold.
Yeah, for sure. So, in case some of you don't know, Shred Tech's been around for 47 years. We've been the leader in the market building shred trucks, innovation, and various things. So over the last couple of years, we've kind of went back and thought, what else can we do to improve our offering, to help things with you, service providers. So one of the things we did was we thought we need a smaller footprint shred truck, something that gets around better in tight spots, better fuel economy. We all know that the purge stuff has really come down.
Right.
There's not as many purges as there once
Right.
was. So you don't need the big CDL trucks. And
Right.
we're seeing, we saw the demand change years ago. We thought, how can we go even further and make it simpler, whether it's a mom and pop or whether it's an enterprise company, reduce costs on equipment or just improved efficiencies and all those things. So what we did was we worked really close with Isuzu to come up with what we call the Metro brand of shred trucks. So we've got paper shred truck, we've got a hard drive shredding truck, dedicated hard drive shredding truck for SSDs and hard drives, and we have a paper collection truck, so a secure truck for that. So I'll start with the paper shred truck. What we did, this is basically, it's our MDS1, so it's our entry-level shredder. We knew that we didn't, when we polled our customers, we asked them what their averages were and what would be a good amount in a small truck, and they all said if it made it to 5,000 pounds, they were happy.
Oh,
that was
5,000
80% of the people that said, hey, if you can get a truck that's small, non-CDL, then that would be something that they would go with. So this does 6,000, so it'll shred 4,000 pounds an hour, and it holds 6,000 pounds legally.
Wow.
So you're going to be in that 5 to 6, and so which covers most daily routes. What's nice about this though, in areas like Chicago where you've got low bridges, this is something that'll allow you to, instead of having to go all the way around town to come down a different side street to clear a bridge or an underpass, this one will go right under.
Really?
So we did that for routing efficiencies, for logistics and things. So the other thing we did was we took our components from all of our other shred trucks. So it's the same shredder head that's in all our other trucks, so some common parts. We use the same control system, the same lift mechanism, our gripper tipper. So all of this stuff we kept it the same so that we can have commonality between the MDS 1s, 2s, 3s that everybody's been purchasing for the last 10, 15 years.
Okay.
So also because we're able to get a little better at our engineering and find some things that are working better, lasting longer, we went ahead and extended our warranty to 3 years. So we went from a 2 to a 3 year, so that's new. We wanted to make sure that people, it's like anything, you come out with something new, people don't want to be the guinea pigs. They don't want to. So what we said was, what's really new on this? There's nothing new on this really, besides the chassis, right? I mean, the box, the walking floor, we still use the tried and true Keith walking floor.
Right. Okay.
So we said, as long as just to put some peace of mind with people, we said, hey, let's just add another year. Let's give them the full 3-year warranty. So we're excited for this. It's
it's quite a. And this is obviously non-CDL. So.
It is non-CDL. It's something that's really easy to get in and out of, to get around town. It's people are really familiar with these trucks for box trucks. So, it's the drivers like them. Again, fuel economy. It'll hold 264s in here.
Two 264s.
Yep, and one in the tipper, so you'll be able to carry 3 bins.
Okay.
So, and again, we use the same, our hydraulics, it's the same as our other trucks. All the things, we try to keep everything.
All the things that work.
Yep.
Okay.
So why change it? Now we did make some adjustments to the hopper, which I can show you here down at the end, but we've changed some geometry to the hopper to, some of the things that, the trucks, the older trucks would be, paper would get stuck in a spot where it wouldn't make it to the shredder, and so guys would have to poke it with a stick or shake the hopper or something. Shred Tech had a vibrating hopper that was kind of a band-aid to a degree. It would mitigate, it would help get it down there, but it just wasn't quite the thing that it needed. So we spent some time, and now what we have, the ones down there are air-driven actuator. This one actually has a different system. It's a cam system, but it does the same thing. It moves So it's constantly kicking the paper towards the shredder.
Got it.
So
Got
that
it.
way we have continual flow. Because how do you maximize your throughput? The paper's got to get there.
Right.
It's got to stay moving, right?
Right.
And this keeps it moving.
And it's got the Keith floor in it too.
It's got the Keith walking floor. So again, very common parts.
Lovely, lovely. So that's brand new this year.
Brand new this year.
Okay.
You're looking at.
And what's that one called again?
That is called, this right there, the MDS 119.
Oh, the MDS 119.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Very cool.
And then so here we kept, we're buying these Isuzu chassis, right? So we're thinking, all right, we got this Metro lineup. What else can we do? So, I won't say exactly who, but we've built a handful of dedicated hard drive shred trucks. And with that, this body's built in Tennessee, so it's a US made body. We partnered to get some things, do some testing with some various, let's call them electronics dealers, to create a dedicated hard drive shred truck. And that's the other thing too, so what kind of throughput do you need? What kind of capacity do you need? It's tough, right? Because you don't know, the drives could be, you might have a job that's 1,000 drives, you might find one that's 10,000 drives. You just don't know. So we said, well, we got to find a sweet spot. So what we did was, this actually will shred 2,600 drives an hour.
2,600.
2,600 drives an hour.
Okay, so let's take a look, and then we'll go up in there. But
So here's the workstation. So you can get 2,600 drives an hour in what we would call the fast mode. But we created we said that's a lot. And a lot of times you're scanning drives, you can't keep up with something that fast.
Right.
So we said, so how could we improve on this? We already know that we can hit this number. So let's look at some fuel economy. Let's do some things. If you're scanning drives, you can't feed it fast enough. So we reduce the RPMs and put in an eco mode, and it'll still shred 1,100 drives an hour, but it's doing it at a much slower RPM, so you have fuel savings now, right?
Got it.
So
okay, and so before we go up, it's a
it's got a lift gate.
Okay.
This has the Delandia, but you can have, there's Max, there's a different ones,
Right.
but so that's and I can't show it in here because they won't let us turn it on. But that lift gate opens up. It's got a lip on the back so things can't roll off.
Okay, good.
It's we took safety.
Yep.
And said we got to make sure everything's safe. That's number one, right? And then here we can walk through here.
Let's go do it.
So this is the workspace right here. Sorry, we're live. Here you got some other Shred Tech guys here. So
we're live, guys.
We're live on Tom Adams' podcast.
No, it's I Sigma on air.
Oh, sorry.
I Sigma on air.
I Sigma on air with Tom Adams.
Yeah, I just happen to be the poor sucker who's doing it.
So this is the workstation where you can, obviously you got your hard drive slot and your SSD slot.
Oh, okay. You're running through the slot there.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So and it's it's again, safety, right? You got everything that you need. There's nothing in the back that's paper. Everything in here is set up so that it's not going to catch fire, right?
Right.
And then you got your, we're in it, and if for some reason the door shuts, we even said, hey, you got to have a way out. So we put in like an egress window, right? So something that, again, thinking ahead.
What's this down here?
This is a power inverter, so this is for plugging in your laptop to charge or a scanner or any of that kind of stuff, right?
Okay.
And then the way this was set up too is it's fully enclosed. So when you're shredding, we've got an air system on it, but we actually did testing to where they tested the air quality in here, and they shredded 5,000 drives and ran the test the whole time with the doors shut. And they said, you don't even need to wear a mask.
Really?
So this is contained really well, the separation that we built. So, and the noise, same thing with the noise. The noise was below the allowable decibel reading. So,
okay, and this is the...
Yes, so this is the hard drive shredder here. And what we did was we also, if you get a jam, we tried to make it real simple. So, to get in and out, we did it in a way that allows you to get in and be able to clear the jam, right?
Okay, got it.
So we've got a safety switch, that way the shredder can't be on. But trying to think ways that we can keep it, make it easy for our customers, but also keep safety in mind, right?
Got it. And what goes down in here?
So these are equipped with 5 of these Gaylords, and what we do is, so once you shred and you get about 800, then you shuttle them. So what you'll do is you'll open this door here.
Oh, got it.
You pull it out, and then you've got this door here, so you just rotate the bins. So the full one comes over here, the empty one goes in, and you just keep rotating them until you got 5 full.
Sweet.
Real
sweet.
simple. And they're on casters, so they're easy to move.
Right.
Even when they're full. 800, you got 800 drives, it still moves around really easy.
Oh, that's so sweet. Sweet. Okay. Wow. So this is brand new.
Brand new.
This is,
well, we've sold a handful of them. So I say it's brand new.
They were custom.
They were custom.
Got
so
it.
we said,
Okay.
look, let's, we've had enough activity, people asking that we said, you know what, let's go ahead and make it one of our product offerings.
Perfect.
So, and it's been a hit so far. I mean, we offered this up in the fall to a couple, different customers that had asked, for a solution, and it's been good. So,
Love it. Very cool.
Yep.
All right, let's
on to the
go
next
see one more.
All right, the next one is just a paper collection truck. So this system is designed, if you see here, it's our MCS 19.
Yeah.
But what's unique here is it's a rear load, rear unload.
Rear load, rear unload.
It's the first of its kind in North America to have that set up. So what's nice is you can, it's obviously, we built a truck so you can have a single operator.
So it's still same chassis.
Still in a Isuzu, same chassis.
Okay.
We even used a lot of the same components. So we try to stay true with our hydraulic systems, the different components on the lift in the back you'll see, but to create that common parts, because it helps our vendors, right? It helps our mechanics. When I say vendors, meaning shops that do work for us, like the Penske's of the world, right?
Right.
So they know how to fix these things.
Right.
But here, here's your area to carry your spare bins or boxes or whatever it is you want to deliver.
Okay.
This is the hydraulic system inside there, which there's nothing fancy there to see. But back here, what's unique is again, you've got a rear load, rear unload.
Rear load, rear unload.
So you load the bins in through here, and it's got 2 settings. You can go ground level, or you can go dock height.
No way.
So if you're...
So this is dock?
So dock height, you would unhook this and you would set it
and so you're
onto the dock. And then you can wheel right in. And then the gripper obviously comes up. We just have it down.
Yeah.
Again, we can't turn it on.
Can't turn it on in here.
Okay.
So you're doing this specifically, like, what's the reason that you decided to go, because it's the first one, but what caused you to do this?
Well, so it's no secret in our industry to know that there's some efficiencies by having a industrial plant shredder. Right. We know that the costs, your ROI, your revenue, I should say, is better when you can shred in a plant. When you're, especially the plants that'll do 8, 10, 12 ton an hour, you can really make some money hogging through that paper, right? But you still got to get the paper securely back to the facility, right? And a lot of these companies, created some spoke and hub type setups. So we said, okay, you know what we'll do is we'll create something that, and again, this thing will hold, the amount of paper this will hold, we're pushing 6,000, right? So,
wow.
And again, a lot of it's how it falls into this system, which I'll show you here in a minute, but so we know it's got a great payload. It's
and how many pounds does this hold?
It's around 5,500 is kind of that where it averages, but again, it's density of paper, right? So
got it.
But what's nice about it is this is it's a small truck. It can get around real easy, but it's secure.
Right.
So when you're talking with like a box truck, you're shuttling. You got 2 guys and they're shuttling bins in and out. They're stacking bins. They're doing a lot of different things that
love it.
Sometimes aren't as safe. So what we said was, how do we make it so one operator can do this?
I love it.
And and then another thing too. Typically, 2 of these will replace 3 box trucks. So through efficiencies,
right,
and so there's some cost savings there over time. But so what we did was we took the system. Once the paper, if you come under here, watch your head. Yeah. So the paper dumps onto a angled chute. It's in the up position right now, just to show.
Yeah.
But that is actually in the down position when you're dumping paper in.
Okay.
And then so the material falls here, and then you can walk the first section back and then load more. Fully contained, fully secure. Everything's high and tight, right? When it's time to unload, you can back up to your pit. Watch your head there.
Yeah.
And then you open this door, and then you turn on the walk-in floor, and that material will come back. Once you lose this first section, we've got a laser eye up here that will say, it'll basically tell you when the material hits a certain point and a certain level, and then that lifts up to break any, again, geometry, right? It kind of breaks the jam and allows the rest of the paper to come out, and then once the that laser sees that, hey, this material now is gone because it's going to read the depth, right? Then it takes that back down and the rest of it will come out. And it's pretty fast. I mean, it unloads
cool.
pretty fast. So, and again, we're trying to figure out what's the safest way to do a paper collection truck. I mean, rear load, rear unload. You're loading it, you're not standing on the sidewalk, so you're not in pedestrian way. You're not going out here in the street. So, the back of the truck was the safest place when you're loading paper. And then unloading, I mean, how many people are set up to maneuver a truck around? You can't. Most of them, you got to back straight up and you got to dump into a pit, right? But if you don't have a pit, what's nice, what we did was we set it up. Now there's a deflector here. So this comes across, and then what it does is it sets a flap here so it can unload into Gaylords.
Oh, beautiful.
So if a place doesn't have a pit and they're shipping, full sheets of paper, like a spoken hub model, it allows you to load Gaylords. And what's cool is once you get the Gaylord full, this thing's it's got an actual actuator here, so a control system here, right? So then you're able to pull the door back shut to hold the paper, shuttle your Gaylord, put an empty one in, lift it back up, start the walking floor again.
So cool. Wow, man, that's really cool. So this is brand new?
Brand new.
So these three we've just looked at are your new units in the market.
Yep. And we've been working on these for a while. It's just like anything else, through COVID and through supply chain, it just took longer than anticipated. So, and I'll show you one more thing. So in the process of this, we also said, let's ask our customers, what are some of the things that they want to see us improve on, right? And one of them was the hopper. So what we did was we actually came in and redesigned our hopper. We made minimal changes. We increased, so we did some things with the geometry. I don't know if you can see, you can probably lift it up. Oh yeah, right here. So what we did was, instead of keeping a straight edge, a 90 with that material coming down, what we did was we actually increased it at the lower end to allow the material to slide better, right? We put ribs in it to keep the surface tension down. So we did a couple different things to improve that geometric shape that would help our material move, right? And the second thing we did, we put in this actuator system.
Oh,
and
right,
that's
the
that
actuator.
That's that system. So it kicks it. I would say I try to equate it to like a wheelbarrow. When you got a wheelbarrow, there's stuff on the left, and you kind of give it that kick. So that's what it's doing the whole time. It's just kicking material forward.
Okay.
Feeding the shredder.
So cool. So can you retrofit these?
Yes. So here, come around here. You can catch this on. Right here. So anything 2016 to 2024 to the newer trucks.
Okay.
I mean, it's cut in now. So every truck that's new and that cut in was, let's just say, oh gosh, 5, 6 months ago or so. But anything older than that, we can retrofit. Right now we're running a Joe special. So we'll let people, upfit at a reduced cost, obviously.
So cool.
But yeah, we've been busy. That's the thing. It takes a long time to put a lot of this stuff together. So we've been busy and hard at it. So we've got a great team. Our engineers, they took the challenge, and our sales guys obviously are doing a great job. The industry, people ask me all the time too, how's the industry? Is it strong? Listen, it's strong. I mean, when companies are still buying, the M&A activity is still fairly aggressive.
Yeah.
I mean, that still shows some there's still some good years to come, I think. So
cool. Well, I'm particularly thankful because Shred Tech is sponsoring the podcast booth.
Yeah. Did you already get the podcast booth on here?
Yeah. Well, we've already done some live streaming, so we're good to go. But I just wanted to spend some time with you and see all the new rigs. So thank you again for all you do. I know you've been a massive part of the industry for many years, so
I appreciate
all you're doing, and really cool news on these trucks.
Well, listen, hey, if there's any other questions, we're happy to answer them.